Hey everyone, it's me, Marty. I'm out in my shop. Yeah, I got my suspenders on. Not just any suspenders, my tape measure suspenders. I haven't worn these for a long time. I actually wore them to church today. Yeah. I mean, you gotta love it. I actually have about, I don't know, 6 or 7 pairs of suspenders. These are one of my favorite ones. There's kind of a history behind these ones too. I actually have another pair on the shelf here. Let me grab them here. They're a little dusty, but there's a lot of history here. So I've shared with y'all before that years ago, early 90s, 1991, my Grandpa Mord and Uncle Don got me into woodworking, got me into scroll sign. And these tape measure suspenders were Grandpa Mord's. And these were his suspenders. He wore these while he was woodworking, and he wore them a lot. And he passed away in 2000, 2001, long in there. And I got his tape measure suspenders. So I have them on the shelf with his jacket and the scroll saw that him and Uncle Don gave me when I first started scroll sawing. And so it's kind of a memory of him. And yeah, if I remember right, shortly after he died, I got those, but I didn't want to wear those ones. I wanted to hang them up in my shop, but I bought a pair too, so I have these ones. Remember him. Anyway, a little story behind that. Anyway, it's Sunday evening. Yeah, I'm still home. I've been home since last Friday, so 9-10 days, which it's nice. I love being home. I wish I could be home all the time, but my truck's fixed, and so I'll be hitting the road tomorrow, and I'll be gone for a week or so, and so I won't be in the shop for a while, but yeah, I'll be working on the road trucking. And anyway, I wanted to do a video tonight, just kind of a little shop video showing you all my tools. Okay, I know I've done shop tours and I've talked about different tools and stuff, but I'm going to show you all my tools and tell you what I use them for. Maybe not the correct use or the what everybody else uses them for, but I'm going to tell you what I use them for. And I'm going to start with, the big tools, the floor model tools and the benchtop tools, the power tools, and then my handheld power tools, and then my handheld regular tools, and then just some accessories, lights going out there. Yeah, and just show you my tools. So here we go. Wait a minute, where are we going? It's right here. We don't gotta go anywhere. I know, I'm just a goof. It's just what I do. I goof, I just like to help people smile, and I usually fail at it, but hopefully I can make you smile by just being me and being weird and being goofy. Anyway, let's get started. And again, I don't have any fancy tools. I just have a bunch of just budget, thrift store, used, fairly cheap tools. Pretty cheap tools, but they work decent for me. They work good for me. I'm thankful for them. And I think I've made some neat things in the past and currently, so yeah, you don't have to have expensive tools. Anything will work. So I'm going to show you what I have here. Okay, so first of all, we'll go biggest to smallest pretty much. This is my Craftsman 10-inch table saw. I don't know the brand, or the brand is Sears Craftsman. I don't know the model number or anything. It's nothing fancy, but it's really heavy duty. Got it for like $50. And it works really good. The fence isn't the best, but it cuts straight. For what I use it for, it works great for me. So what do I use it for? Table saw. I use the table saw for ripping wood. So taking a wide board and ripping it narrower. Ripping strips for cutting boards, stuff like that. But there's a ton of other things you can do with a table saw. I'm telling you, you can do dados, and you can rip grooves, and you can even do miters. You can even cut a circle on the table saw. You can. There's a way to do it. But there's all kinds of stuff, tons of stuff you can do with a table saw. That's the table saw. That's my table saw. Okay, here we'll go over to the miter saw. Hitachi C10FCE2 10-inch miter saw. And a lot of people call them chop saws because they just chop wood, basically. But what do I use it for? To cut boards to length. You know, so I lay boards on here on my miter saw station here, and I cut boards to length. It also cuts miters, so I can angle the saw, so I can cut miters for, you know, picture frames and boxes and whatever else you want to cut miters for. So I use that a lot for a lot of things. And I cut boards to length, but if it's something small, I can actually turn it and cut it to width too, and, you know, if it's small pieces of wood. But yeah, that's miter saw. Okay, now we're over to the drill press. This is a big heavy-duty drill press. It's a Duracraft Model 1600 3/4 inch drill press. My brother Don gave me this. I haven't used it much yet, but I have used it a little bit, and it works really good. It's really heavy-duty. What do I use a drill press for? Drilling holes. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so there's actually, the bit I have in there is actually the exact size. Not sure what size it is. It might be 1.5 inches, something like that. And it's perfect for cutting holes, for drilling holes to hold tea light candles. So I use a drill press for, you know, making candle holders. I also use it for making cribbage boards, drilling all those holes in cribbage boards. The little divots, the little holes for marbles and marble games. For in peg games, different things like that. Anytime I need to drill a hole, I go to the drill press. Okay, now we're over to my pride and joy, the scroll saw. And this is a Delta 20-inch, oh gosh, what's the model number? 4601. Yeah, that's, you know, scroll sawing is still my favorite. You know, I like a lot of other kinds of woodworking, but scrolling is still my favorite. And, you know, this was $400 or $500. I don't know. Brand new 20 years ago, and I think I got it for $150, $200, something like that. Works great. Yeah, I just, you know, I'd like to get a little bit better one someday, but it works good. I do a lot with it. What do I do with a scroll saw? Cut all kinds of scroll saw work. Any intricate cutting, intricate curves, and inside cuts, outside cuts, all kinds of intricate things can be done with the scroll saw. A lot of things you can't do on the bandsaw. Cutting names and words and, you know, puzzles and all that kind of stuff. Matter of fact, I just yesterday or last night I was putting up, or the night before actually, putting up a lot of my patterns. I have a lot of templates, patterns for a lot of my scroll sign, and I hung them all up so they're just kind of up, so you don't have to go in a bin to get them anymore. They're kind of hanging up and just handy. But look at the intricacy of these patterns. That's what you can do on the scroll saw. Lots of intricate stuff, lots of fun you can have on the scroll saw. It's a good, safe, entry-level kind of woodworking. I've taught the kids in classrooms, and anybody can learn the scroll saw. It's really fun. So yeah, that's my scroll saw. Okay, I think that's it for big tools. Table saw, miter saw, drill press, scroll saw. Oh, I got two other ones here. And this right here is a narrow belt. What is it? It is 1-inch by 42-inch belt sander. Sears Craftsman. Just for doing detailed sanding. And actually, is there a... Yeah, well, is that... Wait. I didn't even notice that before. I wonder if you can put a... what do you call it? I'm drawing a blank here. Like a round sander there. What do you call that? Disc sander, like a disc sander on the end there. I wonder if you can do that. I might be able to do that. Anyway, there's that. For just detailed sanding. And this right here is an orbital, or a spindle sander. And I made it. There's a motor in there from an old scroll saw. And I just mounted it in here. And I put a sanding drum on there, and it works great. It doesn't oscillate, it doesn't go up and down, but it spins. So if we're doing curves and, you know, different kinds of detailed sanding, that's my little spindle sander. Yeah. Okay, that's it for that stuff. Okay, oh wait, I got a bench grinder here too. This is a Tool Shop 6-inch bench grinder I've hardly used, but it works great. I gotta figure out a new place to put it. But yeah, that's my bench grinder. What do you use that for? Grinding. You know, you can sharpen chisels and knives and all kinds of stuff like that and grind things. Yeah. But yeah. Okay, then I have some handheld power tools. This is my circular saw. What is it, a Craft Tech? I think it's a 7 or 8 inch blade and nothing fancy at all. What do I use this for? Well, if I have to cut big pieces of plywood that, you know, I don't want to do on the table saw in this small shop, I'll do it outside, and that's good for ripping plywood to size. Straight cuts on plywood, basically. And then I have my jigsaw. This is a Black & Decker jigsaw, nothing fancy, but it works really good. And it's got some different speeds and stuff on it. And what do I use this for? Well, kind of like the scroll saw. It does intricate cuts. You know, it has this kind of blade on there. It's a jigsaw blade. You know, you want to cut, let's say you're making a nativity scene or some cutouts of animals or whatever to put in your yard. This works great for stuff like that. Kind of intricate cuts, curves, but things that are too big to do on the scroll saw, you can use a jigsaw. And here's my Sawzall, or reciprocating saw. It's just a hyper tough. It's a Walmart brand, but it works great and it's corded. And then I also have this one too. It's a Ryobi rechargeable one. You know, I usually use this one if I need a lot of power. Otherwise, I'll use this one if I'm doing small stuff. What do you use these for? All kinds of things. That's why I call them Sawzalls, or people call them Sawzalls, because there's a lot of things you can do with them. I mean, you can cut studs out of a wall, you can cut branches out of trees. They take a long blade, which I have them sitting over there on the wall. Those blades there, those are reciprocating saw blades, or Sawzall blades, whatever you want to call them. But yeah, Sawzalls, lots of things you can do with those. And then I have some other Ryobi tools here. This is my 3x18 belt sander. Has a belt there, and you can use really heavy grits or really fine, all kinds of stuff. This is one of my favorite sanders. It works real good. You can use it with 2 hands. I usually use it with 1 hand this way. And it's really good for sanding my carved signs, for doing scroll saw stuff, you know, sanding small scroll saw stuff. All kinds of stuff. It's a great sander, all-around sander. Why am I stuttering? I'm like, blah, 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 blah. Then there's another Ryobi sander. This is more of just a little finished sander. It's got like a 4x4. Oh, it's ripped. Anyway, put a new one on there. It's just a detailed sander for doing more, you know, detailed fine sanding with. Then I got a couple of screw guns. Some people call them drills. I call them screw guns. I don't know. You can drill with them. You can drive screws with them. This is actually an impact driver. I don't think I've even used it, but I think it works good. And I use this one most of the time. That's a screw gun. So it's a screw gun and then a impact driver. You can do bolts and all kinds of stuff with that. But so yeah, those work good. I have a few Ryobi things. They work pretty good. And I got 2 batteries. I need to get more batteries. It'd be nice to have 4 or 5 batteries and maybe another charger. And then I just have another Hyper Tough from Walmart, just a cheap orbital sander. It's a 5-inch disc on there. I don't like these all that much because sometimes they put, you know, they leave swirls in the wood, but you know, sometimes I'll use that too for sanding. And then I have a couple routers. So this is my rigid palm router. Works really good. This was like $100 and it has like a, I don't know, lifetime warranty on the parts or whatever, but I think it works great. I've had it for a couple of years, haven't had any problems. And I have a what do you call it? The plate or whatever you call it on there. And I bought that from Dave and Eric Roten. They have a YouTube channel and they teach you how to carve signs. They're really cool. They make these and sell them. I bought that for this router, and then you hold the handles and it works really good for carving signs. And then I have this one. This is just an old Sears Craftsman I've had forever. Both of these I use for carving my signs. I hand carve wood signs. And it's just really fun. I haven't done it a lot lately, but I really enjoy it. And that's what I mainly use these for. You know, I do all the carving with this one. And then with this one, I do the edging all around the edge. I'll also use this for just rounding over the edges on some stuff. And I know there's tons more things you can do with routers. Lots and lots and lots and lots of stuff you can do with the routers. Kind of like a table saw. I just haven't done much or learned much with routers. I want to get a router table and maybe put this one in there upside down, or another router, and use that for routing on a table. Also, I don't have that right now, but someday I'll get one of those too. But yeah, that's my routers. And then this is just my hand tools. Nothing fancy. I got hammers, hand saws, level, pry bars, utility knives, chisels, screwdrivers, pliers, cutters, some squares. I got some stud finder. I mean, I'm the best stud. I mean, you know, you gotta love it. I mean, you gotta admit, I mean, you know, well, my wife thinks so anyway. And I have a couple of planers, which I've never used. I have a caliper, which I've never used. I have a wood burner, which I use now and then. I have a soldering gun. I don't use that, but it's there. Yeah, just, you know, random hand tools use now and then. And oh yeah, almost forgot. I got tons of clamps too. I guess those are tools really too. All different kinds of clamps. I don't have enough. I need more clamps and I need some better ones. And these aren't really tools, but I think they're very important and I use them all the time. Just some rulers and little squares, pencils, a compass, that kind of stuff. Very handy in the shop. And we can't forget tape measure. I have a few of them laying around. I use tape measure all the time. And let's not forget safety. Masks, earplugs, safety glasses. Gotta be safe in the shop. And then just a couple random things. Here's my torch. I use my torch to torch things, mainly to torch flags. But you can use them for signs too. Anything where you want to give it a burnt antique look on a piece of wood, you can torch it with a torch. And then I just have an old coffee can, a metal coffee can. You don't see them very often. With a bunch of, well, just some dusty wooden mallets and some files and an old square. I just think it kind of adds some nostalgic or something to the shop. And I'm going to put my tripod up there with the list of tools in the shop. Because I can't make videos if I don't have my tripod. So I have this tripod and I move this around the shop and use it when I'm doing videos. And then I have a handheld one that's in my hand also. Oh, I almost forgot I have an air compressor too, and I have a nail gun here, which I broke the other day. I dropped it and it broke. So I'm going to see if I can fix it. Anyway, it's a Hitachi one and it works really good when it works. I got to see if I can fix it. And that's just a cheap tool shop air compressor, but it works good for what I need it for. And then I have a really heavy duty fan here that I have blowing on me in the summertime when it's hot in the shop. I put that up there with list of tools. I mean, it's really important when it's hot in here. And then I just have a Mr. Heater 35,000 BTU propane heater here. That's what I heat the shop with. I have my shop radio there. I have a broom and a dustpan and my tool belts. I don't know if you'd keep that or put them in a list of tools, but you know, I mean, you know, it's all important. So, yeah, that's about it. I think I might have missed a couple of things, but I think I pretty much got everything. Just wanted to show you all the tools I have and accessories, and what I use them for. You know, what I use to make my different wood crafts and different things I make out of wood. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions or any thoughts, just leave them in the comments. Again, please subscribe if you haven't. Please give this a thumbs up if you liked it. And yeah, share, and please watch my other videos if you're really bored. I got about 540 now. And again, people ask questions about different things. Watch my other videos. I have tons of videos on woodworking and hiking and all the things I do. I just like to share my life and just yeah, just share my life with y'all. So anyways, thanks so much for watching. I got the heater off now, so it was quiet in here while I made the video. But it's starting to cool off. It's down to about, yeah, 15 in here. So I'm going to go in the house and warm up. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.